What's up, my friends? Welcome back to another episode of the Scotty Taylor Jr. Success Money Mindset Podcast. So, I was talking to a new student inside of the Financial Advisor Academy yesterday. So, he and I were chatting. He decided to sign up for the academy. Really, really excited for him and his growth because he's just an incredible human. And he shared something with me that I thought was really, really, really beautiful and really insightful. And he and I were having this amazing conversation that I wanted to share with all of you and share the insights that we both came out of the conversation with, because I think this is going to be a conversation that 95% of us need to be having. This is a conversation, this is a topic that we need to be talking about, that we need to be reminded of consistently. So when he and I were chatting, we were having a conversation and we got on the call, and he had joined one of my master classes. So he joined a master class of mine and he was with me for 90 minutes. We went through so much stuff in my master class. If you haven't checked out my Bulletproof Prospecting System master class, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you come, because the folks that leave that training are like, holy crap, this was incredible. So I'll link that in the show notes just as a side note. So he left the training, he booked a call with my team. I hopped on and we were chatting, and he signed up for the program. And afterward, he shared with me, he's like, listen, Scotty, I just want to share with you, the masterclass was incredible. He's like, you just have such a great way of communicating and speaking. And what he shared with me, this is like the point that I was like really grateful to hear and really excited to share with all of you, is that he said, it was amazing because you showed up and you were deeply in service, you were sharing a lot of information, but you were also there to get the sale. You never let anybody kind of fall by the wayside. Like, you were there to get the sale. And he's like, I really appreciated that, because that's what I want to do with my clients in my financial planning business. I want to have conversations with them, but I also want to lead them to the sale. And this, I know, is something that is very relevant and very, probably very tangible for a lot of you that are maybe earlier on, maybe even later on in your career. But if you're in the first 6 months, 12 months, even the first like 2 to 3 years, I know, at least from my personal experience, that there have been plenty of occasions where I would talk to somebody and build a great rapport, build a great friendship, or build a great relationship with them. But then I wouldn't go in for the sale. I wouldn't ask them for the money. I wouldn't close them. And then we would both kind of depart and go different ways. And I would sit back and be like, man, I built a great relationship with them. Why did they not close? Why did they not move forward? And so what he was reflecting to me, what he was sharing with me, and I really appreciated this feedback. I mean, I appreciate all feedback, constructive. I want to hear it all. Like, if you don't like me, if you like me, like, I want to hear it, right? Because it's all data. None of it means that I'm good or bad. Him sharing this with me did not all of a sudden make me think, oh, I must be a good person now. Like, no, it's just data. It's like, okay, good. My message is resonating with this type of person. Amazing. If it's not resonating with other people, also, I want to hear about it. So when he shared that with me, what I took away from it was, there are a lot of advisors out there that start this career from a place of service. They come into this career thinking, I want to help people, I want to impact people, I want to help people grow their money, but I also want to help take care of my family. I want to help take care of me, my family, my future, maybe pay off some debt. I want to make money. I want to live an abundant life. I want to travel. I want to retire my spouse, whatever the thing is that you desire. Maybe retire your parents and your kids to school. We all have different whys. But most of the time it comes down to something external to us. Most of the time it's not just like, I want to make a bunch of money so I can sit on the couch and do nothing. Most people that I talk to are not like that. The people that I attract into my world have a deeper why, deeper meaning behind their work. And so it's interesting because we start with this desire to help people, and then we go into these conversations and we're really building great relationships, right? We're getting to know the person, we're asking them insightful questions. But then when it comes to actually like moving them across that finish line, sometimes we stumble around that, and we ultimately don't help them move forward. And then we're sitting here thinking, my intentions are pure. I'm not trying to sell somebody something that they don't want. I know that this is of service. why am I not helping them across the finish line? And so here's what I want to share with you that I shared with him. Selling, the act of selling, is deeply in service. When you believe that in your core, that selling is deeply of service, the actual act of pushing somebody over the edge or helping them actually make that decision becomes inconsequential. It's not a big deal at all. Not only is it not a big deal at all, but it's like a mandatory for you and your business. So here's the way I think about this when I got on sales calls with people. And this is what I shared with him. When I got on the call with somebody, my number one intention is to help you make a decision, right? I'm not here to convince you to work with me. I already know that I'm amazing. I already fully believe in my content, in my ability, in my knowledge, in my teaching, in my ability to get you a transformation. I do not need to convince anybody of that. I already know that deep inside, right? I believe that fully. So my intention is to figure out, is this person right for the program? Is my program, whatever it is that I'm sharing with them, is that the right next step for them? If I believe that my program can get them the results that they desire, if I believe that in my core, then it is my absolute duty. It is my absolute, I have to help them move forward and take action. Because if I don't, then I am depriving them of their next level, their next breakthrough. That's what goes through my brain. If you're sitting down with a client and you're like, okay, I'm going to recommend term life insurance, I'm going to recommend this investment account rolling over this $1,000,000, and I'm going to do a better job than them doing it on their own. If you believe that, if you truly believe that, so right, I'm not talking about you selling something to somebody that they don't need or don't want. This is not convincing. This is not like sticky energy. This is you serving somebody. If you truly believe that you're serving them and you let them walk away from the conversation without taking action, you have done them a disservice. You have done them a massive disservice. And you need to believe that in order to sell more. And so if you don't believe that, if you don't believe that your service is of high value, if you don't believe that getting somebody to take action and move forward is actually serving them, then you're not going to sell. You're not going to sell because the belief system is, I don't want to be seen as salesy. I don't want to be seen as pushy. I don't want to force somebody to do something that they don't want to do. All of that is going to get in your way and you're not going to sell. And then you're not going to make money. You're not going to impact people, yada, 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 right? You won't hit your goals, whatever it is. If you truly believe that you are of service, if you truly believe that you have the answers to them, right? I'm not saying the answers to their entire life. I'm not saying the answers for the rest of their life. I'm just saying right now, right here, right now, do you have the next step for them, right? If the person has $200,000 sitting in their bank account in cash and it's depreciating because inflation is growing and they're not getting any interest in their bank, and you're like, okay, well, we need to invest this money so it can grow. If you don't help them do that, so if you let them off the hook, they're like, well, I'm nervous. And you're like, okay, well, don't do it. And you let them off the hook. Imagine 10, 15, 20 years later, they're in the exact same spot. Their $100,000 is now worth $50,000 and they are miserable because you shied away from asking them to move forward, right? So if you think about it from that perspective, you're actually being selfish. You're being narcissistic. You're making it all about you. You're making it all about you. Do I look salesy? Do I look like I'm pushing people? This isn't about you. This is about them. This is about helping people. This is about serving people. When you think about it and how you're being perceived, of course there's going to be suffering. Nobody wants to look salesy. Nobody wants to look sleazy. I don't want to look salesy, but it's not about me. This is not about me. This is about you. My clients, the people I'm serving, when you're talking to your clients, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about them. And so again, number one, if you are making recommendations that you don't fully believe in, you need to ask yourself, number one, do I need to change my methodology and my systems? Do I need to start recommending different things? Or number two, why don't I believe in what I'm selling? Why don't I believe in it fully? What can I do to really bolster that belief, right? So if you're selling an insurance plan or an insurance product or an annuity or even an investment and you're not fully behind it, you need to figure out why. You need to dig a little bit deeper into why do you not fully believe this? Well, I don't know if it's right for the person. Why not? Right? You need to be fully on board with selling something that if you're not fully on board with it, then you're not going to have that level of conviction inside of you. And so if you really truly do not believe it, then you need to pivot and do something else. Like if you're just never going to get on board, but you're selling something because you're going to make money off of it, that will never yield you the results that you truly want, because you're going to be massively out of alignment, right? That energy, that karmic energy, is not going to serve you. And so you need to understand, how can I really fully get on board with the thing that I am selling, or do I need to pivot? Once you're fully on board, then you need to sit down before you go into a closed meeting, before you go into a meeting where you're going to ask somebody to take action, and you need to remind yourself, if they do not say yes and this is the right move for them, I am doing them a disservice. If I let them off the hook, if I let them say maybe, if I let them say, yeah, let me do it in the future, I am actually doing them a disservice. And if that's the case, you're going to show up more confidently. You're going to be more, you're going to collide with them. You're going to be like, tell me why, right? You're not going to be like, well, okay, whatever. No, tell me why this is not the right next step for you. I really, truly want to understand, because if I believe it's the right next step for you and you don't, we need to reconcile this, right? We need to reconcile this, because I'm the advisor. I'm the expert. I know what I'm talking about. If you don't agree, then there's something mismatched here, right? Or if it's fear that's stopping them, well, I'm nervous, I'm afraid, I don't know what's going to happen. That's your opportunity to sit with them, work through the fear with them, and build a relationship that's even stronger from the back end. So the message that I shared with him, and the reason why I showed up on my masterclass and I showed up on the call with him so resolute, was because I deeply believe in my products. I deeply believe in the services that I provide. And I deeply believe that having him say yes and pay me is in his highest good. Because guess what? You value what you pay for. When you pay attention. So if I gave it to him for free, or said, no, don't worry about it, like we can sign up in a year from now, I would be doing him a massive disservice. Both him and his 2 kids and his wife. All 4 of them, I would be doing a massive disservice. Plus all the people that he could impact, that he could help impact directly and indirectly through his growth and his success. I don't want that on my conscience. Like, I want to help him feel empowered and make this best decision for him. So that's how we show up in sales, and we show up in sales as a service. Because until somebody pays, they're not going to pay attention. Until somebody actually says yes and takes a step forward, they're not going to see results and transformation. That's what I want to share with you. That's it. All right. I love you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.